Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. So, several days ago, I did a video on the transgender flag or the pro transgender flag or progressive transgender flag being placed in the White House right in the middle, and you had two American flags flanked on the side. Okay. And I talked about how crazy that was and how it seemed to be it was a disrespect for America, disrespect for the American flag, and all the rest. Okay, and how so many people disapproved of it, and I talked about all that. Well, I just found out from an article I read, and you guys can read this article in the description box below if you can stomach it. Okay, if you can endure it, you can read this article from Breitbart News in the description box below. But what I found out in this article, it's basically essentially says there was a couple of transgender activists that essentially posed nude in front of the White House. One particular male who believes he's a female essentially had silicone breasts or something like that and was covering them up this way. You know, had her hands on the breast like this. And you had another male that didn't have any of that. Okay, he was just he looked like a regular man, but he believed he was a woman. Okay, and they were posing in front of the White House. Now, this basically was a TikTok video that supposedly went viral, according to the article. And then there's a clip of Biden talking about how these people are the most inspiring people he's ever met. And the video, I watched the video. The video was maybe 20 seconds, thank God. But it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. You know, now, when I was reading the article and I read the information in the article, what came to my mind is the purpose behind this. Now, I like to always talk about the purpose behind this push of transgenderism and this push of sexually provocative material. Why is there such an intensity behind this? But let me point this out. When I saw this video and I read the article, the first thing came to mind is the fact that these particular activists have no respect for this country, nor the American flag, nor anyone else for that matter. Anytime you can do this in front of the White House, in front of the flag, you have no respect for the American flag. You have no respect for Americans, period, the way I see it. However, what I believe this is going to inevitably lead to, because America, as one particular person that responded to this TikTok video said, America has become the new Sodom and Gomorrah. And if you believe in the Bible, okay, and even if you don't believe in the Bible, okay, you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what happened. That's what's going to happen to America, okay, because we're seeing the new Sodom and Gomorrah taking place right before our eyes, and everybody is doing their little thing, and they don't seem to care. But you better care, because Judgment Day is coming. Judgment Day is coming for this country. Now, let me bring this out. This is what I just want to get to my point. This kind of activity, I believe, is planned on purpose. It's on purpose. And I believe the inevitable next step is to legalize pedophilia. Yeah, I believe that's the inevitable next step, to legalize pedophilia. Now, that may sound sick. It may sound disgusting, but what a lot of people don't know is that there were actual college professors that go all the way back to the 1960s who literally wanted to legalize pedophilia in the school systems. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you the name of this individual. His name was Alfred Kinsey. Now, let me make a correction. I said 60s, but actually he's from 1894. He's born in 1894, died in 1956. So this goes back many decades. And I want to read you this small excerpt from this book right here called Grave Influence that I bought some years ago. And in this section, the writer says this about this particular professor who earned his PhD from Harvard University. He says, Kinsey believed it was vital for children to engage in sex by age 6 before they picked up quote cultural taboos based on religion. He did not think people should be classified as homosexual or heterosexual, and one of his specific propaganda goals was to normalize homosexuality, bisexuality, pedophilia, and other sexual perversions. And he goes into more details there, and he documents all of that. The book is highly documented, so if you want to get the book on your own, you can get the book on your own. Once again, it is Grave Influence, 21 Radicals and Their Worldviews That Rule America from the Grave by Brandon Haas, right there at the bottom, written in 2009. Very, very powerful book if you want more information. But this guy jump-started this whole worldview, okay? He was one of the ones that jump-started this whole worldview, as the author of this particular book says, who wanted to legalize these sexual perversions. See, this is all this type of stuff is planned, it's on purpose. Now, it mentions pedophilia there, right? That's the next phase on the agenda, to legalize pedophilia in America, to make it normal. See, all of this other stuff, transgenderism and all this other stuff, and all these other sexual ideologies, okay? I'm trying to be politically correct here. It's just the prelude, the foundation to the ultimate goal of legalizing, putting into law, codifying, if you will, pedophilia. Because here we got to understand, there are other countries, and I'm not going to name these countries, there are other countries that engage in this kind of activity with minors on a normal basis. They do this stuff all the time. It's not illegal. It's not considered profane. It's not considered child molestation or any of that. They do this type of stuff all the time. And what America has stooped to the level of is doing the same acts and activities that other countries that we once considered to be, in terms of their actions, considered to be profane. Now we're trying to do the same thing. When we got rid of morality in the 1960s so-called counterculture revolution, and we got rid of God, our country progressively got worse in terms of morality. We may have risen in technology, but we are on a retrogression when it comes to morality. And when morality is gone, the people are gone. And when the people are gone, the country is gone. Because the country is made up of people. Not technology. It's made up of people. When the people are going morally, the country is gone. And eventually, in the future, probably sooner than you think, okay, pedophilia is going to be legalized, and it'll probably start in California and New York. More than likely California, because California is like almost like a communist state, okay? It'll more than likely start in ultra-liberal California. And then everyone else would try to imitate that, and do the same thing. That's usually how it goes, okay? Next thing you know, every state is going to start legalizing pedophilia, and it'll be a normal thing. And why? Because the purpose is to completely fracture the minds of the people in America, and the young people in particular, so that it is easier to control them in the future. This is a planned event. I've been studying this stuff for years, man. I've been reading on this stuff for years. I don't have all these books up here because I don't have nothing else better to do. This stuff is highly documented and it's been going on for decades, and it has worked to a large extent. However, there's good news. There's good news. The good news is we, the American people, can stop this insanity by voting the right people in office. That's why people like Ron DeSantis and others who stand up against this deviancy, okay, are getting such backlash. That's why one of the reasons why Trump is being so hated, because their worldview is against the worldview of these sick elites in positions of authority and power. That's the reason why. Not this, we're racist, systemic racist. Man, I be wanting to slap people in their mouth when I hear them say that. Man, just shut up. You that dumb, you don't even need to talk. By now, you ought to see the obvious. Okay. But this is what is going on in our country. And this, I believe, to sum this video up, this is going to inevitably lead to the legalization of pedophilia in America. And let me say this, and I promise you, I'm going to sum this on. I'm about to end this joke. I talked about this some time ago. There is a movement that's been around for some decades. It's known as NAMBLA, Mambla, I believe, or NAMBLA, but it's Man-Boy Love Association, something like that. Something that goes along. I think it begins with M or N. I can't remember completely, but it is called Mambla or NAMBLA, Man-Boy Love Association. And essentially, it is an activist group and an organization that wants to legalize intercourse or having sex with underage kids, basically, particularly boys. It's a literal group. They're trying to legalize this kind of activity. Now think about that for a moment and think about what I just read to you in this book about Alfred Kinsey, who's supposed to be was a PhD professor at Harvard University, earned his PhD at Harvard University. This man was literally a professor, a college professor, who was pushing this kind of stuff. This is what's going on in our country. And we, or rather people in the past, let it happen. Parents and individuals in the past let it happen because we allowed ourselves to be rocked to sleep. But now people are waking up. People are waking up now and they're seeing what's going on. They're seeing this demonic agenda being pushed. And it's time to vote sensible people into positions of power and authority. That's one of the blessings of our country. Even though both parties are controlled and owned to some extent, you still got to pick the lesser of the evil. And at least we'll have somebody in office who's not trying to sexually kill our children. At least we have somebody that has that kind of morality or sense of morality still left. So I just wanted to say that this is once again, this is sick, but it's no surprise. It's not a shock to me. It's not a surprise to me. But the next step will be pedophilia. And then I guarantee you, people gonna say, man, that small little YouTube channel, he said that was gonna happen. They'll probably take me off, but he said that was gonna happen, and it happened. I pray and hope that I'm being raptured up out of here when it happens, unless God himself comes down and sends a mighty revival in this country and shakes this country up again, like he did twice before in what was called the Great Spiritual Awakenings that happened twice before in this country. Hopefully, prayerfully, it'll happen again, but we'll see. But that's what I have to say about that. What do you guys think about this kind of craziness, man? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.